Let's see what happens here. Oh, I hope that's not how it actually looks.
Oh god, I'm scared.
um, okay. If this is how it actually looks on the other side, is there two of us on everything? What happens here?
Oh no, we're good on this.
Oh, I hope that's not how it actually looks. Mute that.
Oh god.
Got your phone muted now?
Yeah,
Okay. How does the stream look on that side?
mine looks good.
Okay, there's not two of us? Or four of us?
Nope.
Okay, because it looks like there's four of us on my side. Welcome to tonight. Let us know if there's audio. Let us know if there's echoes. Let us know if everything's jacked up or not. I'm trying my damnedest here. Transition. What's transition? Trying my damnedest to figure out what I'm doing here. So let us know if this is working or not. Let's see if I can adjust Wes.
Nice. What is that?
Did you get small?
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay.
Oh man, we had it so good the first time.
We did. We had it. It was great. And now you got small. Er, pause. There we go. You're back to normal. Okay, sounds good on your end. Slightly lagging in picture, but should work fine. Hopefully the lag catches back up. Hopefully that's just my internet being dumb. So we're trying this a different way tonight. Wes is on Skype, and I've got this on the computer instead of doing this on the mobile app. So hopefully if anybody watches this video back after the stream, the live chat should come up for everybody. The replay of the live chat. Thanks for checking in, everybody, on another Monday night with us. So tonight, Wesley's got some titanium trays, electronic trays that are on the site already. Brett has a little bit of a lag. Yeah, it's probably my internet. It should hopefully catch back up here in a second. Anyway, the electronic trays are on the site already, and I put a mess of stuff in the garage sale section. Some stuff that I'm surprised has not sold yet, but we'll see where it goes from here.
I just did all the titanium stuff yesterday. Most of it turned out pretty good. I haven't done titanium. I haven't done this like heat anodizing in a minute, so it was a little bit of a learning curve, but I still got it. I hate showing this stuff indoors because like the like room lights never really capture what it actually looks like.
Right. Doesn't ever look real.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know if it'll like focus on this little lead.
You got to cover your face.
I'll put that. I'll go. I'll get that sandwich bag real quick.
Yeah. Get your lunch bag. Yes, we both missed the Apex Scale Challenge in Oklahoma this past weekend. Unfortunately, there's too many events in Oklahoma all at the same time, so just what it is. Hopefully, well, we will be at Crawlapalooza, so hopefully that'll make up for that. So in the garage sale section, one of the things I just put on there about 10 minutes ago is this set of SMW texture finish 1.9 wheels. It's not a wheel that you see very commonly available. There's a little bit of corrosion or rust on the steel hardware on the backsides, but they're in like damn near perfect shape. Very little runtime with pit bull tires. So these are on the garage sale now. Another thing I put on the garage sale site was I pulled my full party mullet apart because of a couple of reasons. A customer needed a piece off of it and it didn't get put back together, so there is a carbon fiber full party mullet in the garage sale section, which has not been previously available to anyone at all. And not only is the full party mullet in there, I'm going to leave the leaf springs and brackets on it, and I'm also going to leave the sliders with it that I had on it. No skid plate, but the chassis, the leaf springs, the leaf spring mounts, and the sliders. All in one package. So those are on the site. And then I found a pair of 2021 high-low rails. And one of them is a blemish. It's got a little bit of a nip right below that second hole there. You can see there's a little blemish in the bottom of the rail. Nothing that's going to affect anything at all, but just that it's not perfect. So those are on the garage sale site. Only a single rail. No, it's both. It's both.
One individual. Yeah.
The other rail is over on my workbench where I took pictures of it at. So it's a pair of rails. And
aluminum one sold separate.
Right. And a pair
That's all we got.
a pair of 2021 high-low rails also. Then I put a pair of stock SCX10 Pro rails on the site because I don't need them kicking around. I have 2 sets of these. I don't even really need 1 set, so those are on the site. And also, for the first time ever, a different brand of chassis is also available for sale on our site. And 2 of them, in fact. This is a TGH hog chassis prototype. It doesn't have the cutouts in the front like the production version. I bought this on a live video one night for, I think, Operation 11 Charlie. TGH was on there and was raffling off or auctioning off for charity this rail set, and I purchased these. So probably just sell them. Don't need them. And then the other thing that I don't need, I took on trade, is a G-Speed V4 carbon fiber rail set. Took these on trade to a guy that wanted a Pro V2. So these are also in the garage sale section. If somebody wants a G-Speed chassis, half price. Anyway, that's all my I think that's all my garage sale items for right now.
It sounds like I need to check the garage sale because I might have been interested in that carbon fiber mold.
You can still buy it. You can still buy it.
Oh, let me go inside. I gotta get out of here. Let's see it later.
Yeah, adios, muchachos. Here, since people, yeah. Anyway, here's the other slider and rail. Now it's a full party instead of a half party. Oh man. Anyway, you can charge more if it's got a nip. Yeah. Damn it, you got smaller again. What happened? I don't know what's going on there.
Maybe you got cold in here. I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever. It'll be fine. I don't know why it's changed sizes twice now. Oh, the element. I did put my element on there. It's RTR. It's not a roller. It's fully RTR. With the factory radio, stock electronics. It's basically a stock truck with brazen hoops and a set of DCW wheels and Brave and Berserker tires. I only ran this truck for about 15 minutes probably total at Crawlapalooza 2018-ish. Whenever they came out, like right after they came out, I got that truck and I stripped a servo horn almost immediately.
Was that the plastic horn stuff or what?
Yeah. Okay, now you just got absolutely huge, so that's cool.
I'm okay with that.
I don't think so. Wait till it pops up on your
Oh,
phone.
no. It's just.
Hang on,
It's
I'm
just
trying, I got shit in the way. I'm trying. Oh, somebody bought
we'll have
this.
this all streamlined by next week, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, we're trying new things here, so, yeah.
As long as no one can tell I'm not wearing pants.
Or see your extra cables and shit by your TV. You're all concerned about that.
Yeah, I'm like.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I think that's fixed for now. So if you ever product a truggy chassis, half chassis for welding a truggy cage, we have actually done that before. We had a couple of customers that wanted custom chassis, and we did that for them at one point. There wasn't very many of them produced, but we did do that.
Yeah, not too common. I mean, we still can if someone. I mean, not too many people are out there taking and making cages and stuff nowadays. But if anybody wants anything, by all means, we can do it. Do a half frame of whichever chassis design.
Yeah. Would you call it a half party? I mean, we could, yeah. Where's Matt and Josh when you need them? Yeah, the program that we're using is a little bit different. It's similar to what they're doing, but it's not the same. I already tried to pick Josh's brain about trying to get this far, and he couldn't tell me what to do, so I had to fix it myself, unfortunately. What chassis kit did Tim order for his Class 0 build? C1 Pro. Yeah, I think he ordered a C1 Pro. Or maybe I don't know. I don't even remember. I think he ordered a C1 Pro. Damn it, you got small again. Oh, now you're back to big. It's got to be my internet fucking with things. It has to be.
Tim, I remember Tim got the kit.
Yeah,
C1 Pro kit.
he recently ordered a C1 Pro kit.
Class was that he was building it for? Oh, Class 0.
Class 0, yeah.
For Crawlapalooza?
Yeah. You got smaller again.
It's just keeping you on your toes, man.
It's trying. Okay, let's try this one last time. And bigger, over. Nope, wrong one. That's not what I want to do. Move you over. Good enough. Good grief.
I think it's interactive.
If I can't,
pull and drag.
yeah. If I can't get this figured out by this time next week, we'll go back to the old way. And no AirPods, big headphones tonight. Because microphone. Hopefully I don't make a bunch of noise setting that back down. I think we're good. Yeah, hopefully the video isn't super fuzzy, and hopefully the lag kind of keeps up. I don't show that I'm really having issues on my side of this, like the actual streaming thing, but I am trying to Skype and stream at the same time. Lag is back. Yeah. Gotta be the internet. Wesley got small, and now it's lagging, so it has to be the internet. Whatever. Deal with it.
Just put me like a old picture-in-picture TV. Just put me up in the corner, quarter scale.
Yeah. I can just screen share your other Skype window. So you're actually on my computer screen twice.
Can't get enough of me.
Yeah, I guess not. So I've been working on, this was my Metal Masher truck. It was on a C1 Trail patina leaf spring set. but now it is going to be on a C1 Pro, a modified C1 Pro, with links instead of leaf springs. So this is what I've been kind of tinkering with when I'm not super busy. Get that machine back up and running. No, I still got 2 more weeks before the text can come out, so probably another 2 weeks or so. Still not looking forward to writing that check.
No.
Then the Haas CNC guys stopped at the shop on Thursday of last week, Wednesday or Thursday last week, trying to get me to buy a new lathe. I was like, "You take that broken one on trade?" He's like, "No." I was like, "I didn't figure you would." What kind of sales guy are you? At least give me scrap weight for it or something.
Scrap weight.
It's like 16,000 pounds or something like that. 16 or 17,000 pounds. Pretty heavy.
It's not too bad.
Fuck. He just got big again. Hopefully that means I'm not lagging anymore, though. The next time you get small, I'm just going to leave it until you get big again.
It'll work for me.
Whatever. Because they're probably billing this whole time. I hope they're not billing the whole time. Good grief. Hurts having a machine down that long. Yeah, it's been down well long enough. It's already been down a month, so it needs to get fixed. And then now it's going to be at least another 2 weeks. Waiting for the wheel for my next mullet. Well, they should be back soonish, as soon as the machine's done. Can't do a whole lot without the machine. I mean, I can try to make them by hand, but they're not going to look anywhere near what they look like now. Is what it is. I wish that I could get the screen sharing thing to work out for me. Oh well. You're like 2/3 of the screen, but you've got a big gap over your shoulder. You need to scoot to your right.
Am I right or
Yeah,
you're right?
You're right. That's why I said you're right. Keep scooting. Keep scooting.
Oh man.
There you go. That'll work.
I feel like I'm not even in frame anymore. I'm just
No,
a voice.
I promise you are. Unique one-off, handmade in the USA. Exactly, that's what they'd be. What's up, guys? Nothing better than walking to your truck after work and the front tire's flat. Gotta love Mondays. That's like Sunday. Last Sunday, I went to jump in the Jeep to go to Lowe's, and the freaking battery was dead for no reason at all. Just randomly dead battery. I jump-started it, and it's been fine ever since. So I don't know if something just didn't turn itself off or what, but it was weird that just had a random dead battery. The only other time it's ever had a dead battery was when I left the camper plugged in the night before I left for Axial Fest, and accidentally had the fridge running, the fridge and my 12-volt cooler running in the camper.
Nice. I got a haircut like a couple months ago and went in there. You know, a dude haircut's like 15 minutes.
Mm.
Came back out, truck wouldn't start. But that's because of the heat down here. The batteries are all like swollen and hot.
Yeah. Wes needs to change his logo. No, it's fine. He's gonna rock the old school logo on the computer. I still like that logo. Looks fine to me.
That's the HD one, man.
I need to figure out, we were talking about this before the stream started, but I need to figure out the rear suspension. I want to do cantilevers because I don't feel like cutting out the bed of my masher, but I want reasonably performing cantilevers, which I have never been able to do.
I'm with you there. I haven't no luck on that.
The thing about it is, though, I keep, like, I was mocking up forward motor mount and all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, this is not a comp truck. I don't need a forward motor mount and transfer case and all kinds of stuff in this truck. I need a low profile transmission with a motor mounted to it.
So you're gonna go with that free gear?
No, I'll probably go with the deluxe, not the NOD. I guess probably. Friday, I walked out to my truck, leaving the hobby shop to find someone ran into the back of my truck, and the person left. That's always lovely.
Did they leave a note saying sorry? Someone was watching, so I left a note.
Probably not. Josh joining for my drive home. Where were you a little bit ago, Josh, when the video size when Wesley kept changing sizes, like Matt does on your stream sometimes? I can send you pictures of my SSD setup. See? I mentioned it, and now Wes got small again. I'm leaving it until you get back big again. I'm sure I'm lagging now.
I think it's like that Guitar Hero thing where you're like battling one another, and the more notes you miss,
yeah,
the smaller you get.
Yeah, we're just missing notes. I'm leaving.
Yeah, I'm just inactive, so it's obviously I'm not that important.
Yeah, I'm leaving it because every time I make it bigger, you get big. And then I have to change it back. Yeah. No note. That's lovely. Hobby shop has good video. It was a customer of the shop. Well, hopefully they can figure out who it was then and get it handled for you. Why is it always this time of night that weirdos are outside my shop? Like, somebody has just walked in front of the front door and they're standing in front of my overhead door.
No.
Like, I feel like I should walk up.
This stream is action packed tonight.
I should go up to the back side of the overhead door and just bang on it and scare the piss out of them.
Make sure you stream your video camera so we can all watch.
Yeah. Shop phone in my pocket. I don't need that in my pocket anymore. 2 cantilever setups, 1 mini Revo setup, and 1 Amazon setups, but it's using touring car shocks. I think I have at least a pair of short touring car shocks in my plastic bin of shocks over there. No one expects you to be there. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. Freaks come out at night. Yeah, that's not a joke.
It's not even a full moon.
No, it's not. Where is my bin of shocks? I did sell a couple of sets of shocks out of this bin of shocks earlier this week in the garage sale section.
God dang it. All of our customers get the good stuff.
Got a bunch of deluxe O-rings. Can you tell I buy enough deluxe shocks? I've got an entire bag of O-rings, preload O-rings. This is a bag for Vanquish SAE shocks. This is Kyosho Velvet parts. If I were touring car shocks, I'd be in this bag right here. So, I do have, and it actually has a rocker on it already. But it's a very, very stiff spring, which I think you have to have, right? You need a stiff spring because of the leverage. So I do have 2.
Do you have a cantilever kit in mind, or are we going to draw something up?
I'll probably just draw something up. There's a couple of Proline scalar shocks. Oh, there's the 3rd Proline scalar shock. Is there a 4th one in here? I'll sell those. Yep, there is. 4 Proline scalar shocks.
What's the length on those bad boys?
Probably 90s. Dual rates. They're just the standard old school Proline scalar shocks. Well used. Potentially leaking. Or it could just be from the bag of other shit. They're moist, but I don't think they're leaking. Yours are soft. Want some flex? These springs are definitely stiff. Yeah. Could be airlock shocks though too. Anyway, okay, I found those so I can play with that a little bit. I'm gonna keep these Proline scalar shocks out of the bag, so if you want them, let me know. I'm just gonna put that on the floor so I can trip over it when I get up next time to walk away to go do something. When I walk away from the stream, like I always do.
You scare the homeless people.
They're gone now. I like having cameras all over the place, but you see the weirdest shit. There's a semi-truck driver that pays to park his truck out in the back lot. There's 5 acres back there. There's a semi-driver that pays to park his semi out there, and so he shows up in his pickup truck and jumps in his semi and leaves, and then leaves his pickup truck there, and then when he comes back, obviously he switches. Well, the semi-truck is back there right now, and I assume he's got air conditioning on or something is on. The engine of the truck is not running, but something is running, and the running lights are on the truck. So he left something on, I assume on purpose. He's probably just going home to eat dinner and coming right back if I had to guess, but because his pickup truck was there when I left earlier, but now his semi's there. So that'll probably keep some people out of the back lot because they'll think somebody's in it. But now they're sitting out front. Well, they're not out there anymore, but fucking weirdos. What's easier, Instagram or Facebook Messenger? Either way, it doesn't matter. Usually Facebook Messenger because Meta Business Suite sucks.
Yeah.
So
not a huge fan of that, man. They changed it up too many times.
Yeah, and like I hate how half the time you can't see the pictures. Somebody tags you in something or whatever, you can't see it, or somebody sends you a picture, you can only see half of the pictures that they sent, and it's just kind of a giant pain in the ass. So usually Facebook Messenger's a little easier. Email's the easiest, but sending pictures in email kind of sucks too. Or can, rather. So you got 14 of one style of tray and 13 of the other style of tray done so far?
Yeah, I had a few that didn't quite. I was trying to get it to where the bottom bits, the hot ramen frame. I still wanted to see some like titanium at the bottom. So a few of them I was trying that on. I might still put them on, or maybe even like the garage sale, like for discounted.
Yeah.
But I don't know, not quite as uniform as the others. So there's kind of an odd amount.
Yeah.
But all in all, they turned out pretty good. There's a few of these. They're pretty neat. I don't know. Not going to be able to
Looks
focus on.
Looks good. Good enough. There's not enough light on it.
Yeah. Then again, like I was saying earlier, these under like room lights, they just don't really pop like they do once you're outside.
Yeah.
They look like a holographic card.
Yeah, I need to probably get one of those or two. Order one of each on the website so I can get them shipped to me.
I think I'll go ahead and do that, like I was telling you about. I'll go ahead and probably start making one for that deluxe trans.
Yeah.
Since I have one of those myself.
Scoot.
And also,
Scoot to your right. There you go. You keep moving left.
It's natural center of my little desk right here.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like I was telling you, I'm gonna probably I'm gonna try and mock up, see how it look, but I'll probably try and make Creeper and the Tulo into the same part rather than have two different, slightly different parts. I think the holes are like, I don't know, 2 millimeters apart. Like that's the only difference here. It's not much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like barely anything. I bet you it's 3 millimeters. But yeah, I know someone's having two different styles of tray.
Yeah. Yeah, get it down to 1 and be done with it.
I do think I still have some of the original TK trays, and both aluminum and titanium.
I think
The
there's.
titanium stuff's cool, man. I like doing that. That's fun.
Yeah, I haven't messed enough with titanium recently. The only thing I've been messing with is skeletons. Theron says make a slotted hole. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. My only concern is with the creeper T, whether there's enough room around the hole or not to have a slot.
And the creeper is the wider one too, so it'd be a slot inward
Oh, okay,
towards the spur.
gotcha. Oh, you bent all those backwards.
Yeah, I would. Actually, I thought about that when I first started. I was like, oh, but I'm like, if from my perspective, if the brazen logo is backwards, it's good to go.
Yeah.
Unless it's backwards, no, it's right side on the camera.
Yeah, that's right. It should be
I
right.
don't think there's like a huge weight difference. I need to actually get my scale, but
Yeah, I'd be curious what the weight difference is between the aluminum and titanium.
either way, you're not really you're paying extra for the material and the like anodizing,
Yeah,
not for like weight savings.
yeah. Yeah, I just am curious what the weight difference is. For no reason other than being curious.
I'll get my scale. It's over here somewhere.
I should probably go through and start putting some of these random brass weights I've got on my workbench on the garage sale site too. I think I've got 5 or 6 different sizes and brands of brass weights kicking around that I probably don't need. My issue with a lot of these weights, brass weights, is they don't fit every wheel. And it seems like every time I want like the heaviest one I have, it doesn't fit the wheel or hub that I want it to fit. So I need to go ahead and sell some of those.
I told you they're about even. The aluminum is 8 grams and the titanium is 9 grams. Watch out.
It's not. Yeah, it's pretty good. Well, the titanium is that a thinner gauge titanium than the aluminum you're using, or are they both? I know the aluminum was pretty thin, but
It's a thinner, yeah. The aluminum is a 1.6 mil thick, and the titanium I think is 1 mil. Pretty comparable in strength. The only thing is with the aluminum, if you do bend it, or I don't know how you bend it, putting Josh's 30,000 mile battery on there might bend it. It'll stay bent, but the titanium should spring back.
yeah. Toby says that's a cool shirt.
Aluminum wants it to bend. That was one of my favorite shirts. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I'll try and get a couple things. I think I'll do that deluxe trims. That'll be my next little project.
Sounds like a plan. My next project's going to be trying to figure out cantilever because I want to get this. It's going to be, by the time I get this truck done now, it's going to be too cold for Matt to paint it this year, so it's probably going to end up being a more long-term project than want it to be. Actually, I mean, I could just send him the body and cage work. It doesn't need to be on a chassis, technically, but I'm also not done with the radiator mount in the bed yet either. I didn't get time to mess with that this week. I wanted to, but I didn't get to it.
Did you get my message about the truck, the wrap?
Yeah. Yeah, we can figure that out.
I don't know if it'd be because you haven't done one like sized.
No, just give me general dimensions, and
I can do that. I was gonna take like a soft tape measure and just go around from the bottom or the like left rocker over to the right rocker.
that's fine.
That should be a general. I don't know. Whatever works.
Sounds good to me. We can make it happen. Sent you pics. Thank you. I will check them out. I haven't seen that dumb guy pop into the chat yet, but I do want to thank him for sending Colin that AR-44 pass-through. Got him all set up with that for free. Wouldn't even let Colin pay for shipping. So thank you to that dumb guy. If you are in the chat and haven't spoken up, thank you.
That's cool.
Yeah. Have Matt move to a warmer climate out west. I don't think he'll do that just to paint a body for me. It'd be a hell of a friendly thing to do, to pack up his family and move somewhere westerly.
I'm sure he likes us, but not quite that much.
No, probably not. Hell, by next spring I'll probably have changed what I want out of the truck anyway, what I want it to look like anyway. Probably never.
Gonna go back to leaf springs.
Probably never get done. I don't think I'm gonna go back to leaf springs on it now. Mostly because the C1 trail chassis with a Mojave body or a Yoda body always had a big hanging belly area, but the C1 Pro does not. It only it's like a 15 millimeter difference in belly height between the two chassis when the body's mounted. So I'm just gonna go with this setup instead. It would be cool to have leaf springs on it, but
you'll have to cut that prototype one. I should be seeing that maybe later this week or early next week.
yeah,
If it comes in time, I'll show it off next Monday.
I could. I also, I'm just gonna make that extension piece for the back of the frame on this one to get the masher cage mounted to it. I could just cut a new chassis an inch longer, but I think I'll just make an extension piece and braze it to the cage.
The cool thing with that prototype is it should all be, I mean, other than folding some leaf springs to it, should be pretty straightforward to swap over.
Yeah, that's true. It would be pretty easy. Although somebody already bought my full party carbon chassis on the site, so I don't have leaf springs anymore.
Now you just gotta put an asterisk, leaf springs not included real quick.
Yeah, that's Rylan. He'll probably understand.
He's like, I was gonna toss those anyway.
Yeah, he got a discount on it anyway. I'm surprised that this Element truck hasn't sold yet. I don't think I'm asking too much for it. What do you think this truck's worth? It's a stock RTR Element trail walker, but it's got a motor flip kit, our shock hoops, and a set of wheels and tires. No body included, but it's otherwise fully RTR. I actually drove it just to confirm the other day before I posted it on there that it was RTR. And I don't remember even what I have it listed for, but it wasn't that expensive. $195. Is that too much for an RTR Element truck?
That's I mean, I think that's pretty good for a ready to rock vehicle, man.
Yeah, with wheels that you can't get anymore. They're Delrin DCW Hurricanes. Brave and Berserker
There's,
tires that are like brand
there's
new.
$240 right there, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you think probably 50, $60 for the wheels, probably another $40 for the tires, and then I think I paid $30 for the motor flip kit. Yeah, $195 seemed cheap to me, but nobody's buying Element trucks apparently. Maybe it needs a body.
I mean, those still have like really good steering and stuff.
It's a decent truck. The motor flip kit was GMRC, Green Mountain RC. I was gonna design one, but then like I started designing one, and the next day he released one. So I was like, "Yep, I'm just gonna buy one," and I never bothered to finish it up. Elements just don't sell as well. Give it time. I'm not. It's not like it needs to go anywhere. It can go right back on the shelf for what it's worth. It's been sitting for 2 or 3 years as it is anyway. I said earlier in the stream, I think I maybe drove that truck 15 minutes when it first came out at Crawlapalooza before I stripped a servo horn. That's why it's got a Vanquish horn on it now. It's got a custom clearanced Vanquish horn on it. Yeah. My ring camera at home's going off now too, so that's cool. Somebody's at my front door at home. Not at my front door. Somebody walked by or whatever. I don't know. There's nobody else out front or out back at the shop though, so that's good.
Just people by your wife and kid.
It could have been an animal in the front yard. I don't know. Yeah. Have either of you tried the Artful Dodgers trans flip in any rigs? No, I have not. I have mixed emotions about the... You're talking about the mount that flips the trans on its side, like lays it down. I have mixed feelings about that. Because technically, when you really look at it, I think it raises the motor up like 4 or 5 millimeters, which isn't that much. It does lower the overall profile of the trans, but it does raise the motor up. It allows for more room for interiors when it's clocked down like that. But it raised the motor up, technically. So...
I think one person, I actually designed a little tray for, I can't remember, I think it worked. I didn't hear back that it didn't work. But that was difficult because I didn't have one on hand, so I'm just looking at their page, modeling after like the transmission I have for the bolt pattern and kind of gauging my own measurements.
Yeah.
But I think it worked. It was kind of a big tray though.
Well, if you never heard back about it, it either worked or it didn't. And they were just like, the motor flip is it's a dual plate system with brass standoffs in between it. G10 plates. Just flip the stock motor around. And then I stuffed the stock ESC next to the trans. Got it off of the slider and stuck it in between the trans and the battery tray. Sits kind of high anyway than the Stealth X. Wasn't sure. Figured I'd ask. Yeah, the motor does sit a little high, kind of normally. The motor flip kit puts it down. Like the bottom of the motor is pretty much parallel with the top of the frame rail on the motor flip kit. So I think it's probably down a little bit compared to factory. But it's still reasonably high compared to like my Class 1 truck where the motor, or my Class 2 truck even, where the motor touches the lower links at compression. The motor is touching the upper and lower link at the same time.
Perfect.
Late as I lost track of time laying laminate flooring. Don't envy you. I spent my weekend working on my bathroom. My Saturday working on my bathroom downstairs at my house. What are your opinions on having over or underdrive at the trans compared to having it at the axles, i.e. portal gears or ring and pinion gears? Technically and theoretically, having it at the transmission creates less torque twist. Anytime you mess with gearing in the axles, you induce torque twist. You can induce torque twist. So I prefer to have it at the transmission myself, if at all possible. All of my trucks that have overdrive are in the transmissions at this point. The only thing that is any different is I've got a set of TRX4 axles that have over-under ring and pinions in them. But I don't use those axles. I need to put those on the site too.
Or will trade for F10s.
I think I've got 3 sets of F10s now sitting around. I've got a set of F10 portals and 2 sets of straights. You don't need straights or portals?
See, no, that was wrong. I'm gonna mess you up. I want one of each. I want a portal rear, straight front.
No can do, homeboy. No can do. I need to.
Well, someone would buy a portal front, solid rear.
Only somebody doesn't know what
Just
they're
like
doing.
me.
Yeah. Only somebody that has 80% overdrive in their transfer case. They have to build a custom transfer case to be able to do that.
They'll make it. People are resourceful.
Yeah,
AliExpress has that.
probably. Wouldn't surprise me.
It's in the same page as the backward slant skid chassis.
Yeah. And the Chinese knockoff 2-point lows with bent top shafts. That one that dude got that was all bent was terrible. It was shipping damage, but still. Perfect squatted build. Yeah. That does. I'm sure you saw the pictures of it, Josh, of the chassis, Chinese chassis that the skid was slanted the wrong way. It was for like a Capra. I think it was a Capra bolt-on type chassis, but the skid was angled the wrong way.
Bolt. Right.
I made a flip for the Element Trans and the Holmes 400XX motor you recommended. Barely clears the high clearance links the way you run them sideways. Yeah, that's a good place for the motor to be. If it's touching the links, it can't get any lower than that. If only someone watching the stream with direct access to Vanquish parts. Yeah, you've seen them. Yeah, that's what I figured. Oh, man. It cracks me up. It's like, tell me you've never played with RC cars. Or tell me you've never built a comp truck without telling me you never built a comp truck.
That's pretty bad.
I'm bummed, though, this week. The weather was pretty well shit all week last week and all week this week. So I haven't gotten to play with my dang Fordice. It's still sitting here in the...
Just sitting in my dude.
Still sitting here on the same place on the floor where I set it down last Monday. Haven't touched it since then. Super bummer. I do like these.
Starting to cool off down here, dude. Better watch out.
Dude, we've got highs in the mid 60s and lows in the low 40s this week. Already.
Ugh, it's already winter.
Yes, it's already hoodie season for sure. I got more metal shavings in my arm. I'm moving things around with sticky tires and picking up metal shavings and sticking them in my arms. I was carrying a dustpan full of metal shavings and I kicked something that was on the floor, imagine that, and poofed aluminum shavings all over my workbench. So now I keep getting poked in the arms. What is your preferred weight on a C1 or C2 truck? Well, we talked about that a little bit last week. Pretty much all of my trucks are in the 5.5 pound range, pointed out. I don't really vary much because I build the same truck for all three classes, basically.
I'm actually. This is gonna be heavier than 5 pounds for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. See if I have a unit of measure.
You gonna give it to us in kilograms since it's a Toyota?
Kilograms. It's got a rear wheel touching. All right, it's 5'8", so that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's pretty close. 5 something.
5.8 grams. That's all it weighs.
Yeah.
I actually put one of those trays on here. One of the blim ones.
Looks good. That's the
On
custom.
the Tulo.
That's the custom chassis I cut you, isn't it?
Honestly, man, it's pretty close to production, other than the just ultra flat rear end.
Yeah.
But no, it's got the standard skidded. This is well, and it's got the little drop for the front bumper. But yeah, for the most part, it's pretty much the production high-low. But this truck's fun.
Make any
Carbon fiber good.
progress on your new body yet?
No, I need to sand it. I gotta get a. I'm trying to decide on what, like, there's like little details like the little windshield washer sprayers. I'm gonna go the vinyl route. I'm definitely probably just gonna shave those because I don't feel like heating the vinyl up and then work trying to like possibly ruin that whole vinyl just for some goofy little windshield washer nozzles. But I need to pretty much just sand it and then smooth out my lines. Other than that, it's kind of where it needs to be. I have a local buddy, Jonathan, hooked me up with some thin Lexan. I'm going to do custom windows, and it'll be lightweight.
So I normally, for windows, will take packaging from my son's toys. Let me see if I have any of it left under the bench here. You buy like a toy or whatever, and it has a clear plastic window for you to look through to see the toy. It still has some cardboard stuck to it, but they've got like the clear window in them so you can see the toy. I just pull that plastic out, and it's all dusty from being underneath the workbench. But
is that what you tripped on earlier?
No. Oops.
It's kind of similar. It's thicker than what you just held up, but has the little film on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah. Zach got my revamped C1 down to 5.1, and it surprised me how much losing a pound will do. Makes me want to put myself on a diet. Yeah. Like I said, I usually normally run them in the 5 to 5.5 pound range. Sometimes they're like, depending on the wheel and tire setup, it could be close to 6, but not usually. Do you guys pinch or dove your hard bodies? Class 2, I normally have pinched. I don't normally dovetail. I bob them, cut them off short, but his is doved and pinched.
This is D, all of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shorty.
Looks good though.
Oh, I gotta cut it. Yeah, no, it'll look more aggressive once I cut these wheel tubs off. That's actually on the list too.
Yeah.
Unless I'm gonna run tiny itty bitty tires,
Yeah, some Class Zeros.
Class Zeros. I think they did a little bit too much body work for that.
Yeah, probably. You got big again. Just stay right where you're at, or to your right. Don't move left. You're fine. You're fine. Just don't go left. Checkered Pass says that's way smaller than his Land Cruiser. Like you
Yeah,
cut
you can.
cut a lot out of that body.
I mean, it's way smaller than the belly beam even.
Yeah. Don't get Matt to glue in your windows. Talk to Josh. His Matt's windows fell out.
Oh man, I was asking Matt how to glue stuff too. God.
Well, Josh asked Matt what glue to use, and Matt told Josh what glue to
That's
use.
exactly what I did.
And then Matt didn't use that glue. Matt used a different glue, and his windows fell out, and Josh's didn't. So. Gosh dang, man! All these little freaking metal slivers. Like, I'm positive you won't be able to see this on camera, but there's not gonna happen. Teeny tiny little.
I thought you were wearing glitter.
Dude, I feel like it. I'm gonna have to. There's a sheet on this steel workbench. I'm gonna have to take the sheet off of this workbench because it's very stabby. Like it's very stabby. I'm gonna just sit like this instead of laying my arms down.
Straight up stabby.
Yes, very stabby. It should self-right itself well with the roof so rounded. It should, yeah, definitely. That helps quite a bit. My Class 1 truck, the roof is like basically flat, but it has that winch point that sticks up off the top of it, so that usually kicks it to one side or the other. That's called an RC truck.
Do what?
That's called an RC truck.
Oh yeah. No, I'm looking at because I got that deluxe trans. I'm trying to peep how I can do a tray with that. I think I have an idea. The only thing that made this difficult was there's a lot of screws on front and back, but like not a consistent, like an easy way to bolt on like the TGH.
Yeah.
But I think I got one. I think I got an idea. Wouldn't be too bad. I'll have something sketched up.
Get her done. I need to drive this Phoenix or this Ford Ice some more so I can decide what I really want to do to it. I want to get some more wheel time with it before I start cutting it apart. I like the non 2-speed whatever, non-dig, not VFD twin trans, the regular VFD. I've got the overdrive gear set. I think this is the overdrive gear set in this right here. Yeah, this is. So I've got the overdrive gear set right here. So I'm going to put these in it, probably. Anybody break those new Vanquish plastic portals yet? I have not broken an F10 portal, and I am not nice to my Class 1 truck. My Class 1 truck is a 13-turn Puller 400 motor from Holmes, and it only runs on 4S, and the throttle trigger is usually between the 2/3 and full throttle area, unless I'm creeping through a gate. And I've bound it up real bad before, like real bad. Like I broke 2 rod ends on a rear link at the same time. It was so bound up, and it did not break an axle. Whereas my AR-45 portals only lasted about 3 minutes the first time I drove it, and I threw them away. So I'd say they're fine.
They passed the Brett test.
They passed my abuse, in my opinion. F10P plastic housings are strong. Yes, they are. I definitely 100% agree. Couldn't agree more. I've broken one portal gear and one ring gear at the same time, but I've yet to break a plastic housing. Yep, there you go. I don't know what Vanquish did to get the plastics to work so well, but they definitely do, and the axles steer really, really well.
I do like the steering.
Yes. Yeah.
Remember when you had to upgrade to the U-joint style front axles, or you had to like trim?
You had to grind off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing we had available was CVD or whatever.
Yep. Very first thing I do with my Vanquish F10 portals is cut the steering stops off them and turn the endpoints way up. Turn the endpoints up on the radio and cut the servo stops off, steering stops off.
My endpoint becomes the diff housing.
Yeah. Yep. The tie rod is the hold up at that point. Open VFD trains you got there? No, this is I'm working on something. It's part of a VFD. It's not done, but this is part of a VFD. The top shaft is around here somewhere. I have it. I modified it. I have it done. Here's the spur gear, so I know it's got to be around here somewhere because the spur gear is still here with the pin in it. So the top shaft has to be, or should be, theoretically, right here somewhere. Here it is. This is the top shaft, but this is not going to be the top shaft because the top shaft will be this size. But it won't be in this location. Basically, yeah, we'll wait till it's done before we go over all that. But yes, it is part of a VFD trans. This particular one has overdrive gears in it. What else we got tonight? We got an hour left. We're running on Steam today, huh?
Yep, physically and material-wise. I think right before I called you, I was still eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not getting off work till 5 now, so I had to do a couple store trips, sit stuff up. Yeah.
Yep, with the weather changing around here too, it's getting dark at 7:30 now instead of 9:30, 10 o'clock, so it's makes it hard to get things done now. What? Something misplaced? Friggin' surprise. I don't misplace things. I just set them down somewhere where I don't remember I set them down at. They're right where I left them. They're not misplaced. They're exactly where I left them. Because I'm the only person in my shop most of the time. And I'm definitely the only person that moves my shit around. So typically, nothing gets lost. It's just right where I left it. Josh is chomping at the bit right now trying to figure out what you're working on. I can guarantee you he couldn't give a shit and kick less what I'm messing with right now, but we'll see if he cares about it. We'll see if he likes it when I'm done with it. Cooling off time for trails. That's Wesley's thing right now. He's stoked about being able to ride his bicycle without dying.
I've adapted now.
Screw that.
I just pass out after each trail, quick nap.
Yeah.
Wake back up, when someone shakes me or when the paramedics show up, and I just continue on.
Take a quick trailside coma real quick.
Yeah. No, I was just resting. I'm fine. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Gonna stop by the shop on the 20th, Brett. Have an appointment out that way in the morning and the rest of the day off. What day is that? Day of the week?
Oh gosh, you're gonna be closed that day.
Wednesday. Good. You're fine. You're still young. Wait a few years and then talk about it again. Right. It's hot. Hot down there. If it's 100 degrees, you will not find me riding a bicycle. Period. Too damn hot. So I got random transmission gears kicking around on the bench here too. I don't even know what those came out of. Sucks you can't blame someone else, right? Insert Spider-Man meme, yeah. So it's a blessing and a curse, because that also means that I haven't lost a tool in like 7 years now since the dealership closed, because no one's in my toolbox when they shouldn't be in my toolbox. Now, I may have to walk around my shop and find where I used that tool last or where I set that tool down at, but they're never lost. They never leave my shop, so they're never lost. Howdy guys, High Desert Scale Adventure, how's it going? Cop trucks, how much flex do you like? Personally, right at one tire height or a little less, like half a tire height to one full tire height.
This one doesn't have much.
Yeah. I don't have tires on my Class 2 truck right now to show it, but I can grab my Class 1 truck. Because I'm not even entirely sure on this truck what it has.
I bet you this one's like a half tire.
So, I know you guys can't really see. Okay, so this is the top of a 4.19 tire here. So, about 2/3 of a tire height probably on this particular truck on the front, and about the same on the rear. About 2/3 of a tire height on this particular Class 1 truck with 80mm shocks. So that was always my complaint about my high-low builds, was that the rear suspension had too much travel. I always had to limit the travel down because the links are so long in the rear. It gives you a ton of rear travel. The longer the rear links are, the more travel you get, because the chassis moves, like the pivot point of the chassis is different. So I've always had to limit my rears.
We could run little shorty shocks, but you're sourcing those and finding those. You're not, it's not too common.
Correct, yeah. Checking in late. Any updates on the lathe? Still 2 weeks out on the tech guys coming, so a couple weeks still.
I got these shocks off of, what was it, Horizon? Not Horizon. The Cali store. I'm drawing a blank now. But these were, I think these turned into the Pitbull shocks. That's what I was told, but these are real short. Like 50, 55, maybe 60 mil.
Yeah.
But this has got about a tire flex. I don't know. 475.
Yep. Anywhere between half a tire and one tire should be fine. What's the problem in articulation with cantilever shock setups that you can't seem to find the sweet spot? Man, they're either always... I guess I've never spent the time to properly set up, like, the length and the rocker ratio and whatnot. And I've never seen a cantilever setup that performed as well as a conventional stand-up shock setup. If they performed well, people in the comp scene would run them always. So we didn't have to do dumb shit like this in the beds. We could have a complete flat floor bed and not have to piss with it. If they worked well enough, cantilevers, we'd all run them. So maybe I just need to spend some more time and limit my expectations of what it's going to do, but I hate knowing what a conventional shock does and then driving something with a cantilever and going, that sucks. I don't know. I'm gonna spend some time and try to figure it out because I really don't want to cut the bed of that Metal Masher body out. That's why I was happy with the leaf springs, and then I was just gonna run a super short, just oil-filled damper from the axle to like the chassis. And I guess I could do that with a regular conventional shock, but I gotta find a soft spring if I'm gonna do that too. This truck doesn't have, it's not, I have to keep reminding myself that this Metal Masher is not a comp truck and it doesn't have to perform like a comp truck. But I just know that when I'm out driving it and it's not doing comp truck things, I'm going to be pissed. Because I drive all my trucks like comp trucks. I do. I always see what lines they'll hit or what they won't do, and if it won't do it and my other truck will, it's going to bug me. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to mess with it. I'm going to play with it some and see if I can get it to function half-ass reasonably. I'm crossing my fingers I can get mine to work well in my SSD setup. I'm gonna do some more research and do some more finding, but I think I'm definitely gonna have to find some softer springs for these shocks because this feels rather stiff. Lower the bar. I don't want to lower the bar. That's the problem. I've been building, performance comp trucks for 10 years now. So building something that's not a performance comp truck is kind of annoying. All trail trucks are comp trucks without all the OD. I leave the OD in them. I trailed the hell out of my SCX-10 Pro at Axial Fest with locked in at 40% overdrive. I put 12 or 14 hours on my pace setter build that at Axial Fest with 40% overdrive. I didn't have any issues with it, but I wasn't driving on concrete either, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if the truck's wide enough, it's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
On the Jelly Bean, dude, you can see the rear tire dragging.
Yeah, there were definitely times when you could see that happening.
The front end was just doing all the work.
Or when you're, sitting there on a hill and the front tires are spinning and the rears are not yet, and then the rears spin a revolution and then they stop spinning again. Since the new rules, I've seen guys lay 80mm shocks forward enough and mount them to the chassis to clear the drop bed and use limit straps to control the drop with a stiffer spring and thicker oil. See, that's just a band-aid though, and I don't want to... You won't find that on the podium, I promise. Trail it, you don't want to dent it. My other Metal Masher truck has only been on the trail, and it is dented all to hell. I've never comped that truck. I think that's about the only truck I've never comped. Is this one? And it's definitely dented. Associated black buggy front springs I think are the softest. Well, these are definitely black buggy springs, but they're not soft, so they're probably not associated. I don't even know what these shocks are, or what they're off of. They were in my bag, oh shit. Run the BR Mini and was told not to trail with all that OD. I run a BR Mini in my Class 1 truck, and I've trailed that truck for hours at a time also. You gotta have your gearing right on the pinion and spur. If you got too much gearing, it's gonna burn something up, and the ESC is probably gonna be the first thing to go. But I've never had a problem with a BR Mini. There's not an undented panel on that Yoda. No, there's not. Even the taillight buckets are dented.
It's impressive.
There's not a single square centimeter of this thing that is the original shape, I don't believe, at this point. Yeah. Even the cage is bent on this thing at this point. Good to know. Yeah, like I said, I only run BR Mini. I'm sure it's not recommended to trail run with it, but it's a decased ESC. I mean, no, there's no heat sink on it, but I've never had one burn up or get hot.
When it's like I was saying, it's usually like a weight thing too. If you have a big heavy truck, man, that's a lot of load.
Yep, that too.
It's just that.
That too. Just sitting here thinking about the garage sale section on the site again. I think I might put my 1.9 Wraith on there. The only place I've ever driven that 1.9 Wraith is all 3 Axial Fest Badlands. That's literally the only time I've driven it is Badlands. So I probably don't need that truck kicking around anymore, and I know people are still looking for those. So I think it's probably a decent time to sell that truck. What does a Metal Masher body weigh versus an RC 4-wheel drive Mojave? A Metal Masher Yoda body with no cage weighs about half as much as a Cliffhanger Lexan body. They don't weigh anything. I can weigh one for you without a cage. Off camera here. I have a Metal Masher body in this box. This is the first body Metal Masher ever made for himself. And I have the entire thing without a drop bed. So there will not be a drop bed, but doors, tailgate, cab, hood, whole 9 yards. This is the entire body here in my hand.
He's running away. Performance, how heavy are your trucks and what like temps do you run them in? I haven't done fans on anything in like 5 or 6 years.
This entire complete body weighs 63 grams. So it's pretty light. For reference, this Axial Trail Ranger Lexan body is a pretty small Lexan body. This Lexan body weighs 116 grams.
So nearly half.
And this Mojave cab only, no cab back, no windows, weighs 150 grams. So more than double, this cab only weighs more than double that entire Metal Masher body, but you have to build a cage for the Metal Masher body.
Solid brass cage.
Well, solid something. Only thing I got fans on is bashers and road cars. Yeah, pretty much. The plastic wrap on my V2 brushless ESC melted. That's too hot. That's too hot. You need to change your gearing. Hot on an ESC is like 120 degrees. So like it'll feel hot as hell to your finger. 120 degrees will burn you. But overheating them, I think, is like 140 or something like that. So if you're melting the heat shrink with the ESC, I'm surprised it hasn't burned up yet. But you definitely need to change some gearing or something, or you have something binding up, if that's the case. Been wanting a metal masher body so bad. Buy the Bronco that's on our website in the garage sale section. It's on there. It's been for sale for a couple of months. At least a month. I guess real quick, I can weigh my Class 2 from a couple years ago. So this is full metal masher body with a steel cage. So it's got steel tube structure in the front, steel tube structure cage, steel bed rails and down bars for the tailgate area, and steel sliders built in. This, with the interior and everything, this weighs almost a pound, but it was excessively heavy. It's all solid rod instead of tubing for the cage. And then, like I said, it's got steel angle iron sliders on it also. So you could probably lose half a pound out of this pretty easily with tubing instead of solid rod. But this body was the second body metal masher ever made. And I ran this at Axial Fest also.
I think Paul's on to something. Buy the Element and the Bronco body.
Yeah. So I think that's probably why the metal masher body hasn't sold yet, because number one, you have to build a cage for it. And number two, but the issue, and I would absolutely build a cage for it, and I can build a cage for it, but the problem is you have to be able to mount that cage to a chassis somehow, right? So without having a vehicle in front of you specifically building a cage for it, it's hard to say, this is going to fit this.
Element it is, dude.
Yeah. I mean, if they don't sell, it's definitely a possibility. I've got the tubing to do a cage.
Yeah, whatever the time is worth to you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could have a turnkey one-off truck for, I don't know.
I mean, I'd have to build, at that point, then I'm going to be building an interior and putting headlights and taillights in it, and then it's going to quickly turn into a $1,200 truck instead of a $200 truck and a $300 body. You know what I mean? So by the time I spend 3 days, 4 days TIG welding a chromoly tubing cage together and building a custom interior, my time is not the cheapest thing in the world either. So
It's either that or you yelled at for not having skids.
yeah. I need to get skids made. I'm waiting on material. I ordered that last week. It should be coming soon. It's coming out of Texas, so it should be here reasonably soon. Thought about
Where
it.
at? I'll go over this.
What's that?
Where's it coming out of? I'll go raise hell.
Actually, I think it's coming out of Austin. It's already shipped, but
I'll go knock on some doors, man.
yeah. It originated at, the first scan was at Austin UPS. Thought about it, but I want to be the one to dent it. That Bronco body is not that dented. It doesn't photograph as well as it looks in person. Like, the photos that I put up on it on the site of the tailgate, it looks terrible. But when I had the aluminum cage built for it, I had a flat plate behind that tailgate, and I had it Velcroed to it. So every time I took the body off, I had to peel that Velcro off, so it kind of warbled the tailgate. It doesn't look nearly as bad in person as it does in the pictures, though. And since his machine is down, he got some spare time. I don't have spare time. Brett, yeah, Brett's version of Josh's flip this truck. It'd be compatible with flip that truck / make it more expensive. There's that dumb guy and Colin are both in here at the same time. That dumb guy, thank you very much for hooking Colin up with that pass-through. That was very, very nice of you, sir. If you ever need anything from us, you let us know, please. Now Colin can get his high-low built, 6x6 high-low built, and we can finalize that design. I saw on the fan page that Ryland posted his, or Six posted his, one of the two, and a few people were asking about him on the fan page, and people were saying, asking if it was going to be a production thing, and I made sure to comment that if they had watched our live streams for the last couple weeks, they'd know where we were at with that project.
Yeah. As of right now, I got one slight. I need to put a little cutout right here for the rear lower link on the third axle, and then all of these can be had. They just need that one modification
To clear the lower links hit the profile of the chassis?
Yeah, where the 5347s right after the ball end where it kind of flares out, it does rub. So I had it designed that way, like aesthetically pleasing, but I think it needs to be completely round right there. So I'll just have to take that notch out.
What if you did a bent link and turned it so the bend was in instead of up or down?
I mean, you could, but I was just trying to make it, like I already gave Lance like the lengths, so I guess you could do like a custom like rod end or something.
I mean, you could just do
I was just trying to keep it simple.
Yeah. What chassis are you thinking for your cantilever shock setup? Well, it would be going on this C1 Pro, but this is not the same as a production C1 Pro. So what happened is I had this Metal Masher truck on a C1 Trail chassis with leaf springs, and the leaf spring rear brace on the C1 Trail sticks out about an inch behind the C1 Trail chassis. And when Metal Masher built the cage, the bed cage, and the rear bumper, he tied it into that 3D printed brace instead of to the chassis itself. So I had to modify the C1 Pro chassis file. The reason I took it off of the C1 Trail chassis was because a customer needed the leaf spring brace kit to complete one of his builds. So I decided just to go ahead and change up the chassis setup. So I had to modify the file for the C1 Pro to accept the sliders that Metal Masher built me, because the body and the bed cage both mount to these sliders in the various hole pattern locations on them. So I needed to locate them in the chassis properly and add the holes in the chassis for them to mount. And then I need to make the rear of the chassis about an inch longer to accept the bed cage. So it's not a standard C1 Pro, but in theory, depending on where I mount them, it would work or should work with a C1 Pro. So the nice thing about the C1 Pro rear spacing, the hole pattern spacing here, is it's the same as like an original SCX-10, because the standard SCX-10 hoops still fit this chassis. I believe, anyway. They should. So as long as the cantilever, I could even go back as far as the original SCX-10 for a cantilever kit, or the 10.2 is going to be the same hole spacing. So I should be able to find a cantilever kit pretty easily that will work. Could you space the rod end out 1 millimeter from the chassis side? You probably could, but at that point, you're just having to explain that to every customer that they need to space the rod end out. So I guess just changing the design of the 6x6 file just a little bit to make it easier on everybody is the way to go.
Yeah, that's otherwise it's each person who buys one's gonna have the same question, and then it's gonna get like a little repetitive.
Yeah. Yep. So just try to make it as easy as possible, or as normal as possible. I've got one of the Dinky RC racing cantilever setups. I could look into that one too. It shouldn't be difficult to find a cantilever kit. I just have never spent the time to try to tune one. I think I've only ever attempted. I think I tried to do it on my Ascender, my Vetera Ascender, once. And then there was probably a regular standard SCX-10 at one point with, I think it was the one I used the Tundra body on. I was trying to not cut the Tundra bed, but then I ended up cutting the bed sides off and using just bed sides, building a cage, bed
Like,
cage.
was it gray?
Yeah.
Old school. I wish they still made the Tundra body, but like a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it needed to be about 15% bigger.
It was like 10th scale, but
Yeah.
all the charts out there now are like 8th scale,
Yeah.
realistically.
I still have that Tundra cab and bed sides. They're probably in the yellow and black plastic tote underneath that workbench in front of me.
It's that thing you keep tripping over.
Yeah, well, no, it's underneath the bench, but
Kick it.
the Dinky RC setup is really soft. See, I don't want that. I don't want it to be super soft because it does have a bed cage, so it's not going to be the lightest setup. Trying to get your chat staying alive.
Yeah, another reason to like not use the phone is it's not liking the angle I have the charger at. So
It is a mullet flat skid full party chassis, something that is in the pipeline. I mean, it's something we could do, but it's not currently on the project list.
we haven't really talked about it. Right now it's kind of like just custom a la carte order. Um, I don't know. If anything, maybe do like a small batch, but if you just message, right now it falls under the like custom chassis because I think right now like our team drivers and like 3 other people have one.
Not full party though. They've got linked setups.
Oh yeah, not the full party.
Yeah.
For that, man, I'd probably just tune in. I don't know. I have to check tracking. Actually, let me see what's up with that. 'Cause it'd be cool to have that on for next week. I could probably get one mocked up, but I would just hold off. I wouldn't do a full party, but
Yeah.
all right, everybody, watch me be on my phone.
Yeah. Toby, man, I don't have a set done of normal retail wheels. I've got my personal set of bombs, my backup class 1 tires. I don't really want to sell them. but I suppose I could be talked out of them. They are scratched up, they are used, and they were prototypes, so they're not perfect. But if you are really wanting a set, I suppose I might be able to be talked out of them. I can take my tires off because I don't want to get rid of my tire and foam setup. But I suppose I could be talked out of the wheels if you really want them. Like 350, 400 bucks or something like that for just the wheels. Probably selling.
So I'm probably projected to have them by next Monday, but just knowing my luck, it'll probably show up Tuesday.
You ordered flat skid, full party.
No, it's the C1 Pro Leaper
Oh,
prototypes.
right. So, if you want a flat skid, we are working on C1 Pro leaf setups instead of the C1 Trail. We're moving beyond the old C1 Trail chassis. And
Yeah, it's from like 2016.
yeah, 2015 actually. Or no, it was 16. It was Sorca 2016 was when we had to change the shock hoops. We had to make the shock hoops bolt on. So yeah, Sorca 2016. What class are you trying to set up the metal masher cantilever setup? It won't be a class truck at all. It's just going to be a truck that I drive, just a trail truck. But I want it to perform well. Brett's such a nice guy. He's always willing to part out his trucks for a customer. I pulled my mini skid off of a chassis for you today, Zach. But I pulled my mini skid off of this full party carbon mullet that I parted out for a different customer. So I've parted out 2 trucks this week that I didn't want to part out. But I know that I can get the parts again. It's not like we produce the parts, so I can get the parts again.
The only thing I don't like selling is like drivetrain stuff because I get pretty rough on things.
Yeah, I don't typically sell off axles and transmissions and stuff just because, once I'm not the nicest person to that stuff, but yeah. I don't typically like selling wheel and tire setups either. This set of SMWs I'll part with because I've never used them. I bought these from Tim Thompson like 2.5 years ago or so, and I've never used them. I put them on my Class 1 truck. When I was developing the C1 Pro, I put these on my Class 1 truck, and within 3 minutes is when I broke that AR-45 portal housing, and I took these back off, and I've never used them since.
Never been.
So, I mean, technically I have used them for like 3 minutes. I'm going to call that not used. These tires are literally brand new. They don't have any feathering or anything on them. But once I get a tire and foam setup dialed in the way I like it, I tend not to get rid of them. I shouldn't have sold my Class 2 wheel and tire setup on my pace setter a couple of weeks ago because now I've got to do that again. But I wanted that pace setter to sell RTR, so I let those go. I think that had mammoths on it. No, that was the one-off. Those were the very first prototype set of wheels that I ever made on the lathe. Went on the pace setter with the trenchers, 4.75 trenchers. Do you know why I can't rewind the live stream? Normally I can. I haven't been able to rewind live streams on YouTube for a few weeks now also. I was watching the Ultra 4 races at Crandon last 2 weekends ago, and I was trying to rewind to catch a screenshot of something that happened, and I couldn't rewind it either. That's way cool you do that, but I really don't mind waiting. I mean, if you don't mind waiting, that's cool. But if you do want or need them, I mean,
We'll
I
make it
can
happen.
I can definitely make it happen. It's not like I can't make myself another set of wheels, and I probably have enough pieces, parts of blemished wheels in my wheel bin that I could probably make myself another set of wheels, but they're definitely more blemished than these were. So I think this set of bombs, this wheel is missing one beadlock ring screw, and I can't tell. It looks like it probably just fell out. The threads look like they're all there from the backside, so it probably just fell out, lost it. But the rest of them have beadlock screws in them. Hate AR-45 portal housings. Yep, my Class 1 and Class 2 have them, probably because I'm too cheap to get something else. Just get Vanquish F10 portals and be done with it. In fact, switch your Class 2 to F10 straight axles. Typically, what's the break-in period for you when it comes to foams, and how regularly do you change? I don't normally notice a whole lot of foam break-in. I run CI Lil Novas in pretty much everything, and I typically don't notice a whole lot of tire foam break-in. Tires break-in. Just it depends on what terrain I'm running them on and how spicy my trigger finger is that day. These Class 1 Hyraxes are probably less than half tread remaining in one season of use, and they are very feathered, especially on the outside edges. Let's see if it'll focus on... wrong way. The outside edge of the tire is probably only a quarter of the tread depth. But it just comes from use. These tires probably have 30 to 40 hours on them if I had to guess. I don't know what just happened there. Your Skype thing just showed blue. You came back. You came right back though.
Okay.
So yeah, probably 30 or 40 hours on these tires themselves, and they're very, very well feathered in. My trenchers that are on the Class 1 truck are doing the same thing, but not quite broke all the way in yet. These tires probably only have 10 hours on them, but they're starting to get broken pretty well. When will I be able to get a battery tray for the high-low? Like the front accessory tray or sliders? I assume the front accessory tray.
Actually, let me see what I got right now.
What's the lifespan of foam if no water exposure? Dry rock versus dirt versus mud. I've never had foams fail. I typically wear out tires before my foams are toast. But that's running a high quality dual stage foam with like a closed cell inner. And I always vent tires. Those new Vanquish axles do look nice. Yes, they do. I'm not a huge fan of the red covers though, so if I got those axles, I'd have to strip the red anodizing off those covers and paint them black or something. CI Lil Novas have many options. How do you select due to truck weight? Yes, that's absolutely it, truck weight. If you're in the sub 5 pound range, soft or soft medium, I typically run a soft in the front and a medium in the rear, but if the truck's heavy, I'll run a medium and a medium. Class 3, do you like portal or non-portal or portal? I don't typically run Class 3 trucks. But if I were to build another Class 3 truck, it'd be straight axles.
It's because of the tire height.
Yeah, just because of the tire height. Installing an RS100 winch in the high-low now. After that, buttoning it up to do the install of 400 pounds of Vanquish brass, and it's done finally. 400 pounds of brass, that'll look good.
To circle back to that front tray, I do have 12 on hand. but I'm trying to compile as soon as I get skids, high-low kits. So, I mean, I could put all 12 of those on the site.
Yeah, we'll just. I'm gonna put 6 on the site, and then um, I'm gonna also work on skids for you too. But we can always
When those
restock
come,
these.
when the materials come in.
Yeah. So there are six on the site now. So if you are wanting a front battery tray, front accessory tray, they're on there now. Run Little Novas, and for my C1, I prefer the 4.25 softs. Yes, that's the same. Yeah, I run the 4.25s. Josh just died a little with that comment. I'm sure he did. I just don't like the red covers. I I did put the red fill plug in my F10 straight axle though. I think I've got it on my. Yep, it's on the back of my F10 portals too, but it's because I run red shocks also, and it's a scale point.
That's where I pour in my super glue when, well, after I run some water.
Yeah. Um, the red covers on my new HD44s look nice next to my red C1 Pro. That would look good. That would look good. Sweet. I'm the only one who snapped a chassis over the weekend. Was that your? I don't recognize your YouTube name here. Was that your TGH chassis that snapped? There was a gentleman at Apex that broke a TGH chassis, and Tim or Jake or one of those guys got him set up with the high-low, which was super cool of them. He's got one of their purple high-lows now. So switched from a TGH chassis to a high-low. Hopefully it works out well. Yes, it was you. Good. Okay. He's also got a flat skid, class 1 type forward skid chassis, prototype-ish G10 chassis.
He's got all the team goods.
Yeah, he does. He's got all the cool shit now. He's got to hang out with the right people.
Yeah, you can say that man is well connected.
Yeah, you can say that. Say that again. Spray it gold. You can spray paint the front cover or the diff covers of the new HD44s. They're not rock jocks. The HD44s. Yeah, I just don't like the red cover. Especially on the clear axle. On the clear axles, the red just is very bright.
Seems G-like.
It does. It does.
So one of the comments said, I don't think that person.
Yeah, yeah. You know he can see the live chat, right?
Oh, man.
He hasn't piped up for a while. He must be doing the scale news now. Limited brazen, I'm in. Yep, pretty much. You've got a red Silkweave C1 Pro, and then Fish and Repeat has a purple high-low that he got from either Tim or Jake or one of those guys.
I saw one of those floating around.
Yeah. Rock jocks? No, they're not. They're not rock jocks anymore. It's the new Vanquish axles. They're HD 44s. Curry changed the name of the axle, so Vanquish did as well. They don't call them rock jocks anymore. There's probably some political correctness reason why they're not called rock jocks anymore, but
yeah, nobody likes jocks of rocks.
Yeah. Ah, great. Yeah. What if the HD44 cover was purple? If it was a dark purple on a black housing, I absolutely would say, yep.
I got made fun of for a while because I hated clear housings.
Yeah, and then I bought black ones and they got all beat to piss real fast.
And then it'll look cool finally.
Yeah, that's true. Theron, yeah, we were just talking about that. Fish and Repeat is the gentleman that broke that chassis in the chat here. I have a flat skid G10 mullet as well. Oh, that's right. Yep. People can get custom stuff or stuff that we don't typically offer for sale. All you gotta do is ask.
Pretty much. Yeah, I would give it like a, depending on how complex, I'd probably give it like a good month.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Invoice or not invoice to your door, but like me trying to understand what you're trying to do versus and then to your door. I'd say probably about a month.
Well, and if it's not something that is typically in production, I gotta keep up on the production orders first before I start doing other stuff too. Sometimes, so like this gentleman's flat skid class 1 chassis. He was wanting and needing it, but I was also really busy. So trying to get that cut took longer than I wanted to. So I apologize for that, but I was also pretty busy doing other stuff. So, but he got it. So, what length are those rear shocks, Wes? Like 60?
Oh,
The truck in front of you.
yeah, I can measure them, but I'm pretty sure they're 60. Um, these ones I actually had made with obviously there's some I think drip shocks and the King, those goofy Bomber King shock caps screwed onto them. And these are actually solid aluminum, so there's like some weight there. I don't know. I kind of made do with what I had, but they were better than the long like hundreds I had on here where it looked really dorky. So I'll take that over what it was previously.
Yeah. Yep. Like I said earlier, that was always my issue with the high-low on my personal builds was I always had too long of rear shocks, and I had to put limit straps on them to keep wheel travel down.
Yeah, and most of my stuff now is a flatbed, so that all works out for me.
Yeah.
How this is set up currently.
Yeah.
I tend to get like more front travel than I do rear travel. It's always easier for me to manage and predict.
Yeah. But then you got people like Austin Burkett that want the front solid mounted to the chassis.
Yeah.
I mean, it does work. There's no doubt about it. It can work, but it takes a different driving style to make it work. People locally are sweating hard for the new negative G chassis. Really wanting to finish my ATL Pro V2 to show them up. Yeah, the Pro V2 chassis is still going to be a performer in that market for sure. One of the nicest features of the Pro V2 and the C1 Pro is the belly height with the motor mount location, forward motor mount location. You can really keep the motor basically touching the lower link and still have decent belly clearance to be able to get over breakovers and rocks and stuff.
I've seen quite a few renders of forward skid chassis coming out. I'm just like, man, if only, what would have happened if I would have never pushed the high-low out the door? Where would people be? So I heard of yet another one that's being tested.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out.
We'll see in a couple months.
Yeah.
Month and a half.
Is that chassis same as your cantilever chassis wish list? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Do you guys shave the steering stops on the F10s immediately? Shave them all the way off, straight to the housing. What is the rear lower
Um,
to upper link separation differences between the 2021 and 2023? Virtually nothing. I can grab one of each and show you.
so with the shaving the steer stops, I don't put the bolt in, but the hardcore link set, which gives just enough bend on the tie rod to where you could probably fit like a piece of paper between the steer stop and the housing, but you're kind of limited by the pumpkin.
Yeah, unless you do a double, that's got double bend in it, but you can do a little more aggressive bending on it.
Yeah, that's just how it came. I kind of assume all the hard work's been done for me, so I just leave it.
Yeah.
Perks to not make your own links.
Yeah, the chassis that Wes is showing is a high-low, and that is not what I would be doing the cantilevers on. So, vertical link separation between the 2021 high-low and 2022 high-low. You theoretically could have the exact same vertical separation by using different link mount holes. The 2023 high-low has less general link separation because if you use the top most link holes in the 2021 high-low, your separation was really far and you got a bunch of rear pinion angle swing during suspension travel. So you kind of had to keep the front upper or the rear upper links towards the lower and forward of the link locations. So on the 2023 high-low, we lowered that down a little bit. It's 5 millimeters. It's not a whole lot of difference. But if you used this hole right here, use this hole right here, your vertical link separation would be exactly the same. Drove Austin's rig last comp and want to build one with my high-low. So I know Austin was messing with that, and I know Ben from Toizuki was messing with that too. Use the Axial Pro shocks on my high-low and put a piece of fuel line inside to limit the down travel. That's definitely an option. Is there an ideal wheelbase on the ATL V2? Using a Lexian body, either the Tuck or the Coyote. I personally preferred like a 12.3 to 12.5 wheelbase on the Pro V2 on my Class 2 setups. Usually closer to 12.5 wheelbase. I don't know, whatever that comes out to in millimeters. 12.5 times 25.4 is 317 and a half. So right around that area.
Sounds right.
I just ordered links from Hardcore. Just get on their website and order 12.5-inch wheelbase links, which I need to call Lance. I'm still waiting on my 71mm bent links for the Pace Setter and Oracles. People are bugging, people are asking, and it's been pushing close to 2 weeks, I think. So I need to get on him and go, hey, buddy, like, I kind of need those. But I know I was a little slack in messaging back and forth with him too, so it's not a one-way street there, but it is something that needs to get handled. Been hearing about Ben's for a while now. Speaking of which, reminds me that T-case you showed earlier. Yeah. Ben was running a no front suspension setup at Nationals in 22.
Yeah.
In Alabama. He didn't finish very well with that truck that day, but he was having other issues also. And he decided to prove a point with a rule that didn't need to be point proven, but regardless, yeah. So the link set from your sites are 313 and could work on the Pro V2, but they'd be slightly less than ideal. Those are sold out on the website. And yes, those are the link sets that I used on my personal truck. They were listed as 313, but they were really probably a little bit longer than that. But, yeah. They're sold out on the site though, so just get any regular 10.2 link set. The nice thing about the Pro V2 is that it was based around axial geometry. So you can literally just order any regular Amazon link set. They're like $17 on Amazon or something like that for a stainless link set. Just order those. It'll put you right where you need to be, or right around where you need to be with an AR-44 or a F10 straight axle. Had a set for a while specifically for this. There you go. Yeah, you can use them if you have a set from us. Just use them. Yeah, put them on. It's in the build bin. I've got plenty of those around here too. So, anyway, it is 10 o'clock now. We've surpassed our 2-hour bullshit session here for Monday night. These headphones still have 80% battery, so that's a plus. I would have already lost my AirPods.
AirPods, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you mean, no suspension? No shocks, just some sort of a rod? You could do it a couple of different ways. You could either use a short link rod to remove the shock and permanently affix the front. I mean, I guess I can give away a little bit of some information here because it's not a common setup and it's not really a setup that works that well anyway. But Wes and Austin designed a boomerang-shaped mount that mounted to the high-low chassis and went down to his Squints AR-44 based axle to stiff mount the front axle to the chassis. Now what that does for Sorca rule bending allows you to chassis mount the servo basically sitting on top of the axle. And you don't need a panhard bar because your boomerang mounts permanently fix the axle to the chassis. So you can run a 4-link front. Well, you don't have to run any links to the front. But you lose your panhard bar, and your servo can be basically axle mounted, but it's chassis mounted because the servo, or because the axle is chassis mounted. And you can move around. You can move things to where you want them to be. You can basically mount everything to just behind the front axle and get around some rules, but it didn't.
There's some drawbacks.
There's definitely some drawbacks to it. It was more of a middle finger than anything, you know.
I did those mounts out of the chute back when I did the zinc plated stuff. So he's got like zinc plated steel.
Yeah, they're blinged out mounts. Let me see if
you'll see them. Actually, you can search them on the fan page. You'll probably see them. If you know what to look for, you'll see it.
So I don't know how well this is going to show up doing this way, but you can see the zinc plated boomerang there.
That works. My problem was I guess you could do it with the F10s.
Yeah, you could.
I didn't want to do it. Like, I didn't want to put those there in that picture in production because that's like a custom axle too. So.
Yep, those are custom axles. So trying to mass produce those off of a custom axle is kind of hard.
Probably sell 1 or 2.
Yeah. Are you guys going to be at Crawlapalooza at Disney? Yes, we will be. Absolutely. That's a do not miss event for us. We basically have 85-90% of the Team Brazen there, and we party like rock stars until they kick us out.
I'm also, I was going to tell you, if you can come up with that logo for Brazen After Dark. Yep. I'm going to double check with Baskins. I think it's still cool, but Yeah, man, I'd like to still do a Friday and Friday night like pizza and drinks, and then like a tune with our like bring your rig by and like
Yeah.
uh, come get some tuning advice from us and the team drivers.
Yep. Yep.
And then Saturday, I think we'll just host a for fun night run. We'll just go out to the spillway, probably break some stuff because everyone usually volts up that
Yep.
night. Uh, Forest, streaming or whatever you got.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
but yeah, if you want to try and hammer out some cool logo,
Yeah, and I've
cool.
got a metal. It's over in the corner, so I can't really show you it right now. But I've got a metal like floor standing sign that's like 22 or 23 by 18 that you like slide inserts down inside. So it's like a double sided sign. So I was planning on
Okay.
doing something with that. Like one side having like a general hours that will be at our booth, and then the other side having the Brazen After Dark thing, like a then we can just spin the sign around or however you want to do it.
Yeah, I'll be down for that.
Yep.
No, I'm looking forward to probably this year.
Yep. Absolutely. So
I'm gonna try and have my little project truck done. But that
cool.
shouldn't take too much work, to be honest.
I think I'm just gonna run Class 1 this year. Um, I'll bring my Class 2 truck, and if I'm feeling froggy, I guess I can run it. But I think I'm just gonna run Class 1 and then just goof off the second day.
Yeah, that would actually, wait, is it one and two, or is it zero and one?
I think it's
The
0
first
and
day?
1 on the first day, and then 2 and 3 on
Okay.
the second day. I
I could
think.
possibly, I'll have to look at the schedule. I could possibly put my green FJ40 together and run class zero. I was, I was so nervous to run that last year and then actually photograph parts of the course, and I was like, oh man, I could have done that.
Yeah.
It was more of like a dollhouse. They're hearing me talk about it now,
Yeah. Pretty
so
much.
they're gonna change it. It was more of a dollhouse like course, which looked cool because the pictures turned out pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But they're gonna ruin it now. It's gonna just blow my truck apart. That Ford.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But yeah, maybe I'll do that and we can go trail running the second day.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. We still got a month and a half. So. But all right, well,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get out of here for the night, and we'll catch you guys next Monday. Should be same bat time, same bat place. Hopefully, we don't keep doing this small and big thing because that's rather annoying. You're pretty small right now, again on my side. So
Need that Google Fiber.
yeah, yeah, damn Comcast.
I already
So all right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll be back